Happy Wednesday! Here we are on the We Crochet Facebook page and YouTube channel. I am so excited to be back again. Here we are on a Wednesday, and what we got more to share with you. We just have more and more and more and more to share with you every week, and it is so exciting. So as you guys start to come in, let us know who's here live with us today. Let us know where you're watching from, what you're working on. We'd love to hear all of those things. We've got a special guest today, which I'm sure you saw in the little caption. I'm excited to get to chat with her. Somebody that I have never met before. We found each other, or I guess I found her, and then we started to connect, and she was our We Collaborate for February, which you guys sold out of all of her items before we could even talk about them. So we brought her back for March so that we could continue to share all the love and everything else. So we're going to get to chat with the Gray Muse in just a little bit. But as you guys come in, I do have some big news to share with you. If you don't know already, Dots hooks are back in stock. You want to go and grab them. They are selling fast already. We do have a bunch back in stock, but if you missed them the first 2 times, now's your chance to get them. We have them for sale right now. You can go check it out. Just search for Dots. We'll also put the link here in the chat. There we go. Thanks, Jen. Putting the link in there so that you can go ahead and grab your Dots hooks because you don't want to miss out on these. These are going to be your new favorite must-have hooks from every project that you're going to work on. They're just great. Everybody's been loving them. I love them. I have been telling my friends that I'm ruined and I can never go back to any other hook again after you've had Dots hooks. They're just that great. So hopefully you'll give them a try. If you did give them a try already, or you were one of the lucky ones that were able to purchase last time, throw in the comments here what you love about your Dots hooks and everything else. We're working on some new iterations coming up for 2024. So keep that in mind. We'll have some new things because Dots hooks are just that phenomenal. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. Heather said, I got my mystery acrylic blend box. I absolutely love it. Okay, so as of like 20 minutes before we came on here, there's one mystery bag left. I don't know who's going to be the lucky person to get it, but there was only one left. So if you're looking for it, go grab it. I think it's not the acrylic and it's not the fingering. It's whatever the third one was. I cannot remember what it was right now. There's one left, maybe sold out already. I'm sorry. We will be bringing mystery boxes back around May-ish of this year. They're going to be completely different than what we had before. So if you loved them then, I'm sure you're going to love them again. We're going to do some fun things with them, and we're working on that as well. Okay. Let's jump in here. Let's bring our wonderful guest in. Let me bring her up here on the screen. Hi, Rubina.
Hello. Hi.
So everybody, this is Rubina. She is the face, the maker behind the Gray Muse. If you don't know what the Gray Muse is, go check out our We Collaborate page, which we will throw a link in there. She is the wonderful artist, designer, mastermind, whatever you want to call it. I'm having trouble here. Behind the key rings that we had, or the keychains that we had in the We Collaborate. And so this was one of the interactive ones, which we will talk about. So we're here and we get to chat with Rubina all about her business, how she got started, why you're going to love her, why you need to go check out everything that's going on over at the Gray Muse. You just don't want to miss out on this. So thank you so much for joining us today. It is so wonderful. Guys, she's an East Coaster like me, so this is like really fun on the same time zone and everything else. It's a fun day over here. Let's get started. And can you share a little bit with us about yourself and your crafty journey? Because we all know here that everybody is a crafter, whether you're a crocheter, a knitter, or everything else. I mean, I've shared before, I like to make jewelry. I like to make cards if I have like a kit to make it and stuff, let's just be honest. Like we all love to craft. So can you give us your crafting history? Because I'm sure there's a good one there.
My journey's been very, very interesting. So I'm going through a rebrand right now with the Gray Muse, so very exciting. I'm upgrading a lot of like the packaging, and I'll have new packaging as well for the keychain. And one of the things that the taglines that came through was the muse is within us all. And people always ask me how the Gray Muse started and how I got the name. And I'm very intuitive, so I just get I call it downloads or like intuitive nudges, and they make logical sense, but I just like know that I have to go with it. And it's very funny because I'm going through a process of dyeing my hair. So right now, like when you want gray hair, you have to go through layers of it. So by next month, this will have gray highlights. So it's funny that that's what intuitively came through as my brand name. But I actually didn't start crafting or creating until I was 30. And I'll be 39 this year. So before that, I was very academic focused. I'm an immigrant. My parents very wanted me to get straight A's and focused on just studying. So I never had time for like fun stuff. Like other kids were like painting. My parents were like such a waste of time. So in my 30s, I discovered my inner child and discovered like Smashbook. I think it's like a scrapbooking book, like a book that you
Yeah.
put like stuff. And I'd like never heard of these concepts because I was very sheltered my entire life. And I was just blown away. I was like, this is the coolest thing. You can glue stuff inside here, like
Yeah.
little wooden pieces. Like it was just mind blowing for me. So then once you start collecting art supplies like ink pads, I was like, wow, ink pads, I want all colors and I want all the brands. It just like my parents were like, where's all your money going? So anytime I would get like gifts or cards because I wasn't working at that time, um, I would just spend it on craft supplies. And then I eventually discovered the world of card making. I didn't know there was a whole community and industry
Yeah.
with clear stamps that like
Yep.
really people are so dedicated to creating cards. I was so hard on myself in the beginning because I really sucked. I was like throwing in like you do like 5, 6 layers and you're like overdoing it on a simple card, but it was a process. So eventually I learned how to be on Instagram, how to take photos, how to make cards, started connecting with the community. So I spent 4 years spending thousands and thousands of dollars on cardstock and ink pads and all the things. But it was the first time, besides reading, I love to read, that I found a hobby that I could stick with.
Hmm.
And but I discovered so much about myself that I was
Yeah.
capable, that if I dedicated my time to something, that I could get better and better. I loved connecting with people. I loved getting praise for my work. Like this was just
Yeah.
like a whole level for me. Those people started to recognize my gifts, and I was like, I think they're on to like they probably mean it.
Yeah.
So it helped me to build my confidence. And eventually I did like start collecting other kind of hobby supplies. Like I did collect yarn, but I just like never knew how to make it work.
Yeah.
Card making was easier for me. About 4 years in, one of the other crafters started collecting pins and sharing her collection. I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. I had never heard of enamel pins before. This was
Great.
2018. And I went and bought like 100 pins that represented everything about me, like coffee, introvert. I bought like all the introvert pins because I'm very like
Yeah.
I like to spend time alone, reading all that stuff. And so after I collected all these pins, I'm like, hey, there's none for card makers. And so
Mhm.
that's actually how the idea dropped in. And this was 2018, and I launched within 5 months of that.
Wow.
I didn't have business experience. I was a social worker, by the way. So I had completed my master's of social work. I was working full time as a social worker. And when I got pregnant with my daughter in 2017, I was starting to feel burnt out and kind
Mhm.
of like it didn't feel a place where I was recognized for any of my gifts. So
Right.
I'm like, I was kind of led to quitting. Let's just make it easier that way. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy my pregnancy, have the baby, and then figure it out from there. So
Right.
that's kind of how I just do everything in life. I'm like, right now, this is a decision I have to make, and we'll just figure it out. Um, so after I quit, went back to crafting just for fun while I was like waiting to have the baby. And then after I had her, that's when I think having a child changes you as a person as well. Like you become more connected to things, more intuitive. At least for me, I became very sensitive to energy and
Mhm.
started to connect more with my own intuition. And so I think that was like prime time for me to start getting ideas for maybe I should give my own ideas a chance. Maybe I can.
Right.
So initially, it wasn't like, oh, I want to make money from this. It was like, let's just see how it goes. And I
Yeah.
think that's that's what made it successful because I wasn't attached to any outcome. So my first 5 pins that I created were very I still have, like, they're up on my wall. So basic, like, you could, like, go into Canva and just create a square, write a text, and just, like I was like, "Let's just do this."
Yeah.
And they sold out the first weekend. It was
That's
very basic.
awesome.
Yeah, I was like my family was amazed. They're like, "What?" Um, I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, this is interesting." And then I kinda went on a journey to start learning about business, which I think I was meant to go on that journey because sometimes you have to learn what doesn't work for you to
Right,
eventually come back to, I knew what I was doing all along, and I just
right.
needed to, like, find my path, but I've released over 300 pins, not all active, some of them are retired, but I
Right,
started with card making and general artists and crafting pins. I did a lot of, like, empowering statements as, like, a social worker and someone who loves to read and just write a lot. And then I started a flower collection as well because that's what I used to love making cards, like flower cards and like
mhm,
watercoloring them. So I have over 40 flowers, and then I add in other miscellaneous things like coffee because I love coffee, tea bags. Just yeah, I try to create things that everything. I don't do market research, by the way. It's like I've always if you ever follow me on my brand, I'm someone who spends a lot of time alone, kind of with my own intuition, just kind of waiting for downloads to come. And then
mhm.
it'll come through like a creative urge. So it's like it
Yeah,
has to come through within me. So a lot of people ask me to release things, and I've tried that. I'm like, okay, let's give it a chance, and it usually doesn't work. So then
yeah,
over time, I've learned that it has to come through very powerfully through me. It has to mean something. It has to come from my heart,
right.
because then I like my whole being can be behind it when I sell it. Like the passion is there. And it's always
Right.
been my passion that sells. Even all the posts, I still write them myself, but only when I'm called to write the post. So I'm not someone who's
Right.
like, oh, 9 a.m., let's sit down, let's write a post. It's like, oh, something's coming through. I gotta go sit down and write this now. So it could
Yeah.
be, whatever time of the day is. So I still honor that within myself. And that's I'm self-expressing myself
Mhm.
through pins. I've added stickers. I'm going to be adding new collections as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I think the tagline that I had mentioned before, like the muses within us all, that's what got activated through my like creating different things. And
Right.
it's just going to keep evolving. I don't know if I'm going to do pins forever, but it's just a medium for me to be able to express myself.
Yeah, I love that about crafters because, we all start with one thing and we all kind of like ebb and flow into different things depending on where we are in our lives and what feels right. And I know Dawn posted a comment. She said her sister says that she's a craft collector. I mean, I don't know. I can raise my hand right here on the number of crafts that I've at least tried and probably still have supplies for just because you have to try it. You have to find what feeds your soul and what feels good to you, and it's just amazing how like your journey started with one craft. Well, after kind of no crafting at all for your childhood. And now it's like your
Yeah.
business. Like that's an amazing journey and like so inspiring of what you can do. And I love the pin thing because it's true. We're collectors of many things. We're collectors of
Hmm.
crafts. I mean, I showed the dots hooks. Like, I'm a collector of hooks. How many hooks? Like, really, you don't need that many, but it becomes
Yeah.
like an obsession with whatever hobby or craft that you're doing. And I love it. And pins are one of those things that you can collect and really express yourself with. I was
Yeah.
in Disney not too long ago, and it was so cool that at some spots, people would sit up like a little stand and it was like, leave a pin, take a pin, so that you could grow
Oh,
your collection and
that's
have like
amazing.
all these amazing things. And I don't know, it was just really cool to me. So I love
That's
it.
such a cool idea.
Yeah. I love that you can express yourself through that. Like, you get to express yourself through the art of making it, but we get to express ourselves through which ones we purchase and displaying them in different forms. So,
Yeah.
let's talk though about the color wheel and some of the other interactive ones. Like, how did you come
Okay.
up with that? Because I mean, most pins are just pins. But
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
this, the color wheel that we have is a keychain, but this is also available in a pin, and there's a couple other
Hmm.
interactive ones. So how did you even get started into that, and where did that creativity come from?
So one of the my first five collections were very basic, so just the simple text. And I think I had swatches one. But the first idea I had actually gotten that I was afraid to put out because it was the interactive paper trimmer, because the paper trimmer was a tool that we all loved as paper crafters.
Right.
But interactive pins take cost more to make. So I was afraid to kind of start with that. So when my
Right.
first collection, as soon as the two designs sold out, I was like, oh, I have to put the paper trimmer into production now.
Yeah.
And always like the idea was just with me for so long that I was like, I have to do this. When something comes through strongly, it's not my idea. It comes like whatever you want to call it, from the conscious field, divine inspiration. But it's like it just you feel in your body that you have to be able to put this out into form in the world. And so that's how these ideas come to me. And so the paper trimmer was the first one. And I was always looking for ways to stand out in any
Mhm.
industry that I'm in. So with the pin industry, I was like, how can I
Mhm.
stand out? So paper trimmer did really well. I have affirmation spinners as well. So it's like they're
Yes.
very reflective of my journey. So I've always been into personal development, 20 ed books. Right now I'm studying hypnosis. So I'm always into my own personal development, doing my inner work, finding peace and creating peace in my life. So it reflects in the designs that I make as well. So I'm
Right.
right now working on very unique items that are interactive, but also tools to help people because I've overcome a lot. And I just love that I get to be in business because I don't have to coach everyone, but I can provide tools for people. So I have the
Right.
feelings wheel as well. A lot of people use it in therapy, and it gets to be fun as well. So with the
Yeah.
color wheel, it came through end of 20, I would say right before the pandemic, so a couple months before, so
Yeah.
2019. And it hit me like a lightning bolt because everyone uses a paper one. And I was like, I would love to create the enamel pin.
Yes.
And because of COVID, it got delayed a bit, but I released in April 2020. So it's been quite a journey with that. It sold out the first day. I just thought it would be cool. I didn't realize so many people loved it. Like it sold
Right.
out. That was the first day that I made five figures. I was like
Nice.
amazed. And yeah, and then a lot of people copied it. So the Chinese, because all pins are made in China, and if companies tell you they're made somewhere else, like I did a lot of research, and it was just kind of something that I had to make peace with. Um,
Right.
and so what ended up happening is a lot of people started when a design is popular, this happens to a lot of pin makers and other
Right.
people, other artists, is they can just trace your design. They don't have to have the actual product. They can trace it, with Illustrator,
Right.
and they started to sell it. So then it brought out competition. So I'm dealing with that legally. I eventually got a copyright. So then I just get creative. I'm like, how can I make this different? So I released the keychain because a lot of people
Right.
don't wear pins. And that was a year ago, in February 22. And that just went insane by summertime. It's just been selling out every single month. I can't keep up. I'm the only one
Yeah.
running this business. I get so much feedback from people like, why can't you keep up? And I was like, apparently you don't run a business because the stuff
Right.
is like, I have to stock it, I have to prep it, I have to like chip it, like I'm doing everything. But I just love that people love it so much.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting very creative. Like it just amazes me that people love the product that they don't even care about the packaging. And now I'm working
Yeah.
on elevating like gift packaging to go with it. I'm going through a rebrand, but people just love it. I'm working on the guide finally to go with it, the color theory guide. So I'm
Oh,
like
cool.
working like backwards sometimes, but it's like,
Uh,
whenever the timing is right, I kind of wait to see when something wants to come through. So I'm very
right.
excited that now people can some people don't understand color theory. I don't fully understand it either, which is like amazing that I can create something even without fully understanding it. But
Right.
it's just, first of all, it connected me with so many people, nail artists, hairstylists, like art museums. Like I'm connecting with so many amazing people, getting so many great partnerships, reviews. Um, it's just yeah, I just feel really grateful to have,
That's awesome.
yeah, to be the one to bring it forth.
Yeah. No, I love
Yeah.
it. I think it's a great idea. I love all of the pins that you have and all the meanings behind them. And there's so many wonderful options in there. It was really hard for us to choose, but when we saw the color wheel, we knew it was like a neutral enough pin that like everybody needs
Yeah.
a color wheel in their life to be able to use. And I know we did a couple posts like for social media. I think they went out already, but like with our new yarn line that we did and just like showing how easy it makes like this simple little tool that you think is like, oh, okay, whatever, it's just a keychain. It's not. Like, it makes it so much easier to go around and be like, oh, here's the kind of colors that I should be looking to put together to
Mhm.
be able to make my next project. I mean, no, it's not perfect with every single shade of every single
Yeah.
color, but that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the
Yeah.
starting point to get you on your journey to find those colors and what feeds you.
Yeah.
Um, there's a comment in here from Madeline that says, I got very into crafting after being a mom too. I realized that I needed to fill my limited free time doing things that feed my soul to keep myself centered and the best mom I can be. Yes.
Yeah. I love
I
that.
1000% understand that. You know, we all have these thoughts about where we're going in our lives and what we're doing. And I don't know about everybody else, but crafting really is like the center that kind of brings you back, allows you to relax, allows your brain to kind of just do its thing without having a ton of stress. Kelly says the Gray Muse pins and stickers are great. Kelly, does that
Oh,
mean you have
thank
a
you.
couple of them?
I hope so. I have 40 coming next month. So I'm like a big collection just came through within me and I just like despite being busy, I was just like I have to put this through. So I'm very excited and then eventually I'll be launching some paper products like greeting cards and I have
Awesome.
secret collections that I'm going to be launching because I've been studying I became a clinical hypnotherapist last year. So I've been in training. And one of the things that my goal is to start reprogramming people to feel good about themselves because I want
Yeah,
to bring that through. And I'm a Gemini, so I don't know if anyone's into astrology here, but I love to write, I love to learn. So I want more of that writing to come through
mhm.
and just be able to like people are very inspired by the brand, by my story, by the things that I say. One of the things that I say a lot now is I don't have to believe every thought I think. I don't know
Yeah,
who said it originally, but I've been programming that within myself because we think a lot of thoughts that we can't stop the thoughts, but we can
right.
choose not to believe them. So it's like being able to write and create things like that and then bring them through cute products that can help people, that can uplift them, empower them to kind of
Mhm.
show them their own inner muse, their own magic. And we all can do things, you know, in little ways that make a difference. So that's how I want to make my impact in the world.
I love it. So if people are interested in finding out more when your new collection comes out, should they be following you on social? Should they be on an email list? What should they be doing? Tell us
So
where
if
to
they
follow
so
you.
I am on Instagram, so I'm very active on there. I always post and write share stories. So I do like mention when I have something coming or if I do have a sale going on right now until tomorrow. My aunt because my 4-year anniversary for the shop was last week on the 9th. And so I'm just
Yay!
doing something special for that. And then I usually send an email anytime I have a special or a new release. So you can, if you go to my website, thegraymuse.com, you'll get a pop-up and you just sign up with that and stay on the list.
Awesome.
But if you don't like, because I like, you know, not everyone wants to receive emails and that's okay.
Yep.
And like, I don't take it personally. So you could always just check Instagram. I always share on there as well. Yeah.
Great. So we did put the link in to go to the website so you can check it out. The links are there. You can sign up for email, find the Instagram, or just search the Gray Muse and you will find everything
Yeah.
that is there. So thank you so much for joining us
Oh, of
today. It was
course.
so great to hear your story. Thank you for joining us for the We Collaborate. I hope everybody goes and checks out all of the fun stuff that is out there because let me tell you, you're going to have a hard time choosing which pin you
Yes.
want for your next collection piece, but go shop now while things are on sale and now you can grab 2 instead of 1 or multiple. have fun because you
Thank
definitely
you.
will. And
Thank
yes,
you.
you can get the color wheel keychain on the Gray Muse website, or you can also
They
grab,
just
we've got
came back in stock. So they just
awesome.
got restocked Monday. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
have a
there is
few
a
left.
black version, we should
Mhm.
say, over on the
I have.
website. You can get black. We have the white version over on our website if you wanna grab. We have a couple left over, but we have the keychain. You can also get pins over on the
Yes.
Gray Muse website. So, yeah, perfect. So,
Thank you for
thank
having
you
me.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a
Of course.
wonderful rest of your day. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. We're actually going to be back live on Thursday, tomorrow, for our National Crochet Month tip of the week. So make sure you check us out then, or if at the very least you join us next Wednesday to see what else we have to share with you. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and we will see
Thank
you next
you.
time.
Bye.